we as a community of African Americans, black people, we don't like to talk about when we have a person in the family that is molesting and sexually abusing other members of the family. We try to hide it, and we try to come up with excuses about it. And I heard you mention something that I found was interesting, and just asking you again so that you can elaborate a little bit on it. Avani, she mentioned a term that her mother had said she was fast. And in African American communities, that's a term used when young ladies or young girls.
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Oh
yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. Well, they consider them to be flirty or whatever. Okay, and but that's why I was saying our communities try and put it on the young lady, the girl, to blame them, and it's like, well, you were acting a certain way, and that's why it happened. Give us a picture, if you can, just briefly, into your childhood. Your mother had an opinion that was her excuse, I believe. I don't think it was a reason; it was an excuse. But can you tell us, just when you were a child, what did you do? Quote that your mother thought was fast. I mean, because I don't believe it, first of all. But why would she have? What was that? Was that just an excuse that she had?
Okay. Her excuse was, I'm going to tell you a little incident that happened. I was 10 and a half. I was 10 and a half, and my oldest brother, used to go up to a store, a supermarket, and he used to carry people bags, and he used to make, change. They used to give him quarters and stuff like that. And he used to come home with a whole bunch of quarters, okay? My mother she always made difference. Like, for instance, I wore thick glasses. My sister that was 13, that was 14, she had contact glasses, okay? Or sometimes when she couldn't pay for my glasses, she had a choice either to get my glasses or my sister's contact lenses. She would get my sister's contact lenses instead of my glasses. And she could have just got 2 pair of glasses, but my sister didn't want to wear glasses, so she didn't do it that way. So one day, and she didn't, it's no excuse, she didn't give me, money, so one time she caught me with probably like about $3 or $4 worth of quarters that my brother, the one that was molesting me, gave to me, and I took it. And she said to me, if he's doing that much to you, why are you taking money from him?
Oh, my God.
So she blamed that on me, which I did take it, because my mom kids used to buy, lunch in school, or kids used to buy, snack line or get something in school. You can buy some potato chips, or back then you could buy a chocolate milk and eating ice cream sandwiches. And I didn't want it that while I was in school, but she blamed me because I took the $4 she really was trying to say like I'm selling myself to my brother. Yeah. As I got older, that's the only thing that I can think that she was saying.
Oh my God.
So, and it's no excuse for for her to look at me in that type of way. Just because I took $4. And when he gave me the $4,
he was trying to bribe you, though.
He had already molested me over maybe 10 times before he gave me that $4. So it was still going on in the house. I mean, my brothers to the point was taking turns molesting me inside the house.
And he was trying to bribe you to keep quiet. That's why, isn't it?
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
He was trying to bribe you to keep quiet. And she didn't look at it like he should be put out, he should be reported, he should be punished. She was trying to say, you accepted it. Remember, you're a child, people. I have to say this. You were a child. And he's doing wrong, but yet she's blaming you. How does that doesn't compute. That doesn't work. She's your mother. She should have protected you from him or anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. She should have protected you from that.
Yeah, but that's and that's why she and like I said, it's no excuse. That's a poor excuse that she's given, but that's what she said. That's what she said. Well, why don't you take it? If you're telling me that he's doing this and they're doing this and they're doing that, you're just lying. Why did you take his? Where did you get all the quarters from? Why did you take it? And this, like I was, okay. I was down with it. Like, so many words as I got older. Like she was saying, I was down with it. You down with it? So hey,
Wow.
you took them
And she
$4 in quarter.
she didn't understand, did she? So, okay, when do you think, when were you able to do any, because you said you have held this in for a very long time, when were you able to do any type of counseling and start to talk about what you went through? So that, because as a child, did you keep thinking that somehow this is my fault and this is why I was left behind? Did you think that?
Yeah, I thought that for so long, that it was something that I did, and that it was my fault. I mean, to be honest, I just, it took some time for me to really, when I started speaking out, it took me over 20 years, because for so long I thought, even as a child, as I got older, I was saying, what did I do? I mean, it's just so amazing to me that I'm saying, how can a mother leave her child at that young age?
And at any age.
And at any age, and she's not on, excuse me, and she's not on any type of, hard drugs and nothing like that. And I for so long I thought it was something I did. I couldn't function. It took, I was like, even like I said, when I got 17, 18, I was, I ignored, but I still was saying, what did I do? What, I mean, I don't know. And the only
sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, because I'm fascinated to know, when you finally were able to get this therapy, I mean, do you think that the therapy has been very helpful? Maybe one of the many things that has helped you to cope with what has happened to you, and also for you to not just know, but to accept that it was definitely not your fault?
I truly do. I truly do, Avani, because I held this in for so long. And if I truly believe, if I wouldn't have gotten counseling, I'm still fighting it today, but I would have been in a worse position. If it wasn't for therapists, I don't know. Because I sat there with my counselor, and she read my book, and my counselor that I had, Michigan Commission for the Blind, had me with a counselor that, a psychologist that I saw work with Michigan Commission for the Blind. She was completely blind, and she read my book over the internet with, and she listened to it over the internet. And when she read that book, she said, I went in for counseling, and she said, I want to tell you, Mrs. Wallace, how can you expect for your mother to love you now? She said, she didn't love you at 11. What make you think she give about you now? She didn't care about you at 11. What make you think she care about you now? And you're grown. She didn't care about you when you was a kid. Yeah. And she was really just telling me, talking with me, telling me, to be strong, and it wasn't my fault. It's not something you did. I can't tell you why she did it, but it's not something you did. It's nothing you did. Get that out of your mind, because it's nothing you did. And and that's what helped me. From my kids and my husband's support and my counselor, I'm getting through it.
Yeah, because that's one of the many questions. Because you say, I mean, how do you think that you found the strength to overcome what happened to you? Because as a child, for you to get through that is a miracle in itself, as we've already said. But then for you to get older and then to be able to get married and have your own family and your own family life, I mean, how do you feel? Because some people may not be able to have relationships in a happy relationship because of all the things they've been through. And when they were around, for example, other men, like a girl around men at such a young age, it's going to be hard for you to think, can I trust this person to want to be in a relationship with them, let alone get married?
Yeah, I was asked that a couple of days ago too. But let me just tell you, I was grouchy. I was mean. I was with my husband, and that's what he said to me. He said, if it's something that's going on with you, because I was so in a bad mood all the time. I was just like really, grouchy, and my husband, didn't know what was going on, from the beginning. He was thinking that, you didn't want to you didn't want to marry me or what? What's going on? And I ended up had to tell him because it was interfering with my marriage. He thought that it was he thought it was something that he did. And I didn't want to do him the way my mother did me. I didn't want him to think that it's something that he did. So I kept it in for so long. Then I said, hey, I got to tell him. I have to tell him what's going on. And, I didn't want my husband just not have no type of relationship with none of my family. I have a son that's 28 years old. He might have seen his grandmother maybe 3 or 4 times his whole life. He's grown. He does not want to be around her. He just don't want to be around the family. He like they're not family. I didn't put that in him. He put that in himself. He say, and he has a son himself, and he said, I could never leave my son like that. I could never do that. How did she do that? And then right now today, they want me, to take the book off the shelf. They want me to be, if I take it off the shelf, they'll talk to me. Or if I get rid of the book, they'll talk to me and be back like nothing never happened.
No.
Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
This is your story. So, yes, your story. So you are entitled and you are free to say it and tell it however you want. It's your life. No one should not feel or think that they have the right to tell you anything, because I've read your book and when I saw that you give acknowledgements and thanks in your book to your husband, your children, your editor, your therapist, you said that your family encouraged you to write the book, but can you tell us, how did they really feel when you said you decided that you actually wanted to write your autobiography?
Well, when I said my family, I was speaking of my husband and my 6 children.
Okay.
I wasn't speaking of the mother and the siblings. I have to correct that one. It was not my immediate family. Like I consider my husband and my kids as my immediate family, not my mother, my siblings. I'm sorry for that one, but no, my mother and my siblings did not want me to write this book. They did not want me to tell my story. Long as I kept it inside, Monty, long as I kept it inside, we was fine. We was okay. Nothing. They was, come to me and talk with me. We was buddies. We were the best of friends. My mother, I just blocked it out. Long as I kept all that inside, it was okay.
But it wasn't okay, though, was it? Because it's not okay for you, because you're suffering.
Exactly. I was holding it all inside for so long. And so then when I let it out, now they say, well, take it off the shelves, or we're not going to deal with you. We're not going to talk with you. You don't have a family no more. You don't have a family no more. Moms don't want to deal with you. We're not going to deal with you because you putting out, telling the things that went on inside the house that's supposed to be among the family only. Keep it inside the family. You don't have to, put it out there and this and that. And it just was, it's crazy if you ask me.
Wow.
But
so they basically said, we disown you.
Exactly. They disown me. But that's okay, though, because I'm not missing anything, because they are still the same way as they was when I was 11 years old. Wow. They have not changed. My mother have not changed.
And can I ask you a question also? We're coming closer. Like I said, we have to do part 2. Of part 2 or part 1 of her story first. But the question that I have is, with your family, did they acknowledge that you were actually left alone? Did they ever acknowledge that to anyone, that they left you?
They knew they left me.
No, but I'm saying, did they acknowledge that to their friends and to other family members? Did they say, yes, we left Emily alone, we just left? They never acknowledged. So what was their explanation to the rest of the people?
They're saying that, but let me just tell you, it was a friend of the family that stays around too. He was around the family a lot. And they told him, because I have saw him since then, they told him that I ran away at the age of 11.
Okay.
They said they don't know why, but I ran away. But if your 11-year-old run away, okay, isn't it going to be a police report or something?